All right, guys, a special treat here on Submission Radio. We have Jake Shields after his World Series Fighting 22 fight with Rousimar Palhares. Jake, thank you for joining us. We know you're quite a busy guy, and it's not the best time to be talking right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm a little frustrated that everything happened. That was, not the best fight, so I'm not too happy, but it's all good.
You seem almost somewhat mellow. What was going through your mind during the heat of the moment? After the submission, after you stood up, it looked like people were trying to get into the cage. What was going through your mind?
Man, I was just really pissed. The guy had just gouged my eyes over and over. I haven't watched the fight yet. I'm not sure if it's evident on TV. The guy kept catching his thumb and digging at my eyes, and it was 100% absolutely deliberate. I've never in 40 fights and maybe 100 submission matches been gouged once. This guy did it over and over, at least 8 times. I kept telling Mazzagatti he was completely ignoring it, and he just, allowed this guy to blatantly cheat. And then on top of that, he cranked the submission after I tapped, so it was just really irritating.
Yeah, surely. Now, just talking about the eye gouges first, it looked from what we were watching, they were quite blatant. It happened over and over. How much of an effect did that have on your vision in the fight and overall performance? Because it looked like near the end there was a bit of blood around the eyes.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was more mad about that than a late submission, because I feel like it affected my fight. It's hard to say for sure. I hate the guy making excuses. It's not the way I am. But, I mean, I was winning the fight, and I go in the third round, not being able to see good. And I just felt like it, I also let it get to me mentally. The fact that, that's my fault for letting it get to me mentally, but the fact that the ref was completely ignoring it. I was telling him over and over, and he seemed to just not care.
There was a moment where Steve Mazzagatti finally stopped the fight, or sort of put it on hold, and he warned Rousimar Palhares. I think a lot of people watching the fight expected him to deduct the point, and judging by the way you reacted, it seemed like you were pretty frustrated. Were you surprised that he didn't deduct a point, and what did you think of Mazzagatti's reffing in the fight as a whole?
Man, I was absolutely astonished to take a point. I mean, honestly, I've never really paid attention to Steve Mazzagatti. I know he has a terrible repetition as a ref, but I've never really paid attention, to be honest. I didn't know if it was deserved or not, but after today, I think the guy's a joke, and I'll refuse to have him ref me again, especially because I had some work from his end. But there's no way I'd let the guy ref me. He blatantly let a guy who's known as a cheater. I mean, I've never seen him gouge eyes before, but he blatantly let the guy just put his thumbs in my eyes over and over. It wasn't the kind of eye gouge that you see, when guys are throwing punches. He was taking his hands and trying to gouge my eyes out.
Just curious, because before a fight, a lot of the time the referee will speak to a fighter. Did you have a chance to speak with Steve and really let him know that, look, this is a guy that's been known for certain dirty techniques. Can you please watch out for them, and can you please be careful in this fight, because I'm quite certain something's going to go down. Did you have that conversation with him before the fight?
I knew he was a guy known for, holding submissions too long, but I'd never really seen him gouging my eyes, so that kind of hit completely unexpected, Steve Mazzagatti came in and said, yeah, I told him, no late submissions, I'm not going to allow that, whatnot, but I definitely wasn't prepared for the eye gouging. I mean, at one point I thought maybe I should start gouging his eyes back, but I didn't stoop to that level.
Yeah, of course. What about your shoulder? The submission certainly looked like it was cranked too hard. How's the shoulder feeling now? Is there any injuries? And we know you just got out of the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, it's really sore. It's hard to say. It was hard to tell with a shoulder and elbow, like how serious it is. I'm thinking I'll be okay, but it's often over the next couple of days. Yeah, that's something that obviously I'm a lot more irritated about the eye pokes, but that's still ridiculous that he clearly held the submission too long after I tapped.
Well, the submission was held pretty long. Do you think that Steve did a proper job in trying to stop him once you were tapping, or do you think he should have jumped in there a bit sooner?
I really don't know. I'd have to rewatch it. I mean, I don't want to. Obviously, I'm mad at Steve Mazzagatti over the eye gouges, but I'm not gonna criticize him for the submission without really knowing.
That's fair enough. Have you had a chance to speak to Sefo or Ali Abdel-aziz about the situation yet?
Yeah, they said they blatantly saw the eye pokes as well. I mean, they didn't say what they were going to do, but they definitely were not happy. They were aware that he was cheating, and they seemed very not happy. I mean, I don't blame them. They're in a tricky situation. They're champ, Like, what do? Do you strip them or not? I mean, I don't know. Personally, I probably would, but that's I respect both of them. That's a decision they're going to have to make.
I mean, Ray did say when he signed Palhares that he'd be watching closely his submissions, and if there was a repeat of the Mike Pierce situation, he wouldn't stay within the company. Just what do you think? What do you think should happen with him? Do you think he should remain champion, or do you think there should be some kind of punishment for the stuff that he did in the octagon? Because a lot of the stuff was obviously blatantly illegal.
Yeah, I think it was blatant. I think he's probably suspended, especially with his track record. I mean, like I said, it's not my place to say. That's between athletic commission and them. I don't know, but I know if I was in charge, I'd definitely suspend him.
As far as what's next for you, Jake, I mean, where do you go from here? Obviously, the fight just ended. You're going to need some time off. Would you want an immediate rematch if that was an opportunity?
Yeah, man, I want to fight the guy in the street, to be honest. I want to gouge his eyes back. I want to bite him. I want to kick him in the balls. I want to actually fight the guy. You know, if I see him tonight, I'm coming after him. Like, I don't like the guy. I mean, if you play by rules, he's not following the rules. I don't know. I mean, I'll fight him to get in the cage, but maybe I'll have to stoop to his level if I have a shitty ref.
Jake, before we let you go, just one final question. Nate Diaz and Nick were there to support you. There was a little bit of altercation between them and some other people at the event. Could you shed any light on that? Do you know exactly what happened? And they would have been pretty angry with what happened to you. What did they say to you after the fight?
Man, I went straight to the back. I haven't had a chance to talk to them yet, because they had to leave after that. So I don't really know too much about it. I didn't realize it was going on until after that I heard it was like Nate and Khabib or so bunch of the Russians, I guess, fighting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I got some text messages from my friends. I'm probably going to go meet up with those guys now. So I'll have more information later.
No worries. Well, we won't speak to you then. But look, we hope you enjoy the rest of your night. We hope you feel better. Guys, don't forget to follow Jake Shields on Twitter at JakeShieldsAJJ. And we look forward to hearing from you soon, Jake.
Great. Thanks a lot. Bye.